to watch this video. If you are not yet a subscriber, kindly hit the subscribe button. My name is Fisayo and in this video I'm going to be talking about how to plan your website content. Planning your website content is a crucial step in building an engaging and effective website. If you want to build a website that would produce results and also help you to achieve your business goals, whatever that is, it is very important to plan the content that will go on the website. It actually starts with having a goal for the website. So in my previous video here, I spoke about 7 things to do before building your website. And one of the points that I mentioned is determining what the objective for the website is. Many times for many people, whenever they have a business idea or whenever they want to start a business, the first thing that they do is to build a website. And like I said in that video, this is totally wrong. But if you want to know what the first thing to do before building a website is and what the next step is, you should check out that video. So start by clarifying the purpose of the website. What do you want to achieve with the website? Identify who your target audience is and the primary action you want them to take on your website. So do you want them to sign up for something? Do you want them to join your community? Do you want them to purchase something? Do you want them to learn more about you? Do you want them to contact you directly? What is the primary action? What step do you want them to take on your website? So do all these things and you have no issue with planning the content that will be on your website. So let's look at what those steps are. The first thing is to create a sitemap. So one of the struggles you will face when you are coming up with content for your website is knowing how you want to organize the website. Sometimes you want to put so many things on, you want to put so many information, you want to put so many pictures, you want to put so many things about your products, about your business. Other times you don't just know what the right thing is to be on that website. So in order to overcome that challenge, you want to develop a structure for how you want it to look. So when people come to the website, what is the first thing you want them to see, right? What is the next thing you want them to see? So for me, on my website, the first thing I wanted people to see was a picture of me because I have a personal brand. So my business is built around myself. So the first thing I want people to see is my picture and then a brief description of what I can do for them and then a button that takes them to where they can talk to me, where they can speak with me. And then the next thing was to see what I could help them with. Sometimes they might not be interested in chatting with me right away. They just want to know what I can offer. So that's why I put the things that I could do next. So you want to think of it. What do you want them to do first? What do you want them to do next? It will help you to begin to put a structure together. So structure your website by organizing them into different structures and pages. So a sitemap will help you to organize your flow of information and make sure that how people navigate through your website is user-friendly. I also said in my previous video that I use Canva to create like a wireframe, right, or a sitemap or a screen blueprint. So what I do is I just go to Canva and I look for Canva has a lot of pre-made templates for websites, and I look for what looks like what I want, or I just start from a blank page, right, and I begin to drag and drop the elements that I want on the website till I get what it looks like I need, or till I get a rough sketch of what I want. So if you don't know where to start by when it comes to creating a sitemap, you can go to Canva and just look at what Canva has already. Sometimes it can be as simple as using a pen and paper to just draw out how you want the flow to be. Other times, like I said, it can be as complex as using wireframing and all of that. But whatever you do, make sure that you keep your sitemap simple. Make sure that you keep your website structure really simple, easy to navigate for your site visitors. The second thing is to choose your content types. So decide on the types of content that you want to put on your website. So common content types, include pictures, videos, infographics, pages like your own page, your about page, your testimonial page, your blog page. And really sometimes, it depends on what you want to achieve. Like I said earlier, you might just need a few pages like your own page, your about page, and your services page. Sometimes you may, and your contact page, right? Sometimes you may need a services page. Sometimes you may need to have a blog page. Sometimes you may need a policy page. Sometimes you may need a testimonial page. Sometimes you may need an FAQ page. You may also need maybe a store, right? So that's why at first I said you need to create a map. A map will help you determine what you want to put when you are deciding on content types to put on the website. Also, you need to plan your visual elements, your visual content, so your pictures. If, like me, you have a personal brand, you want to have a lot of brand pictures to put on your website. And again, in that video, in my last video, I talked about having getting your brand pictures ready before you even start building your website at all. If you are a product-based business, you need to do a lot of product photography before you build your website. It's part of the content that will be on your website. If you are service-based, of course, you want to show how people are using your services. You want to show images, right, that depicts the kind of things that you do in your business. So you need to plan your visual elements. So pictures, videos, infographics, text, whatever it is, ensure that they align with your brand elements. Ensure that they align with your business. The third thing is to craft compelling copy. When you're writing content for your website, when you're writing your website copies, it is very important to write the things that your audience wants to see, right? Write in a way that they can understand, write in a way that speaks to their problems, that speaks to their challenges, that speaks to their emotions. And this can only be possible if you have done a thorough research on your audience, right? You know who they are, you know what they do, you know where they are, you know what their problems are, you know what their challenges are, you know what their goals and aspirations are. So when you know all these things, you write your copies in a way that they answer the questions in their minds. For each of your web pages, let your copies be clear, let them be concise, and let them be engaging. Focus on communicating the value of your offerings and how they will address your audience need. I'm sure that everyone already knows that rule of copywriting that says that you only want to talk about your benefits of your offerings, not the features. So bring that up when you're writing your copies. Also, make sure that they are well formatted. Make sure that they are scannable. Use headings, use sub-headings, use bullet points, right? Use, make sure that they can scan through the web pages as easy as possible. So my advice is, if you are writing your web copies by yourself, just go back to the principles of copywriting. There are so many things to learn from it. And one book that I would recommend that you use is Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards. So go back to the basics of copywriting and begin to use the principles to craft copies for your website. Also, you want to optimize for SEO, right? So incorporate relevant keywords and phrases throughout your content to improve your website's search engine visibility. Ensure that you do not stuff keywords into your website. It's a cheat code, and search engines, Google would definitely detect it, and your website won't show up on search engines. So ensure that all the text flow into each other and they read naturally. Then finally, link your websites together, link your web pages together. It is important that you give your website visitors more than one way to find a page. So if I go to your website and I'm on your own page, it should be easy for me to go to your about page without necessarily having to scroll back to the menu and click on the menu button. So let it flow into each other. This is also a good tip for SEO. So use sidebars, add links to your sidebars, use a lot of internal links to your web pages. Help people get from your own page to your blog page without any hassle, without having to go through so many web pages to get to wherever they are going. Make it easy for people to navigate your website. Then strategically incorporate CTAs into your content to help your visitors take specific actions. So for instance, get them to subscribe to your newsletters, get them to chat with you, get them to join a community, get them to buy, get them to do things. Just put call to actions in strategic places. So always ensure that your website aligns with your brand identity and that it serves your target audience. That's why in my previous video, another reference, I said that you should build your brand first before you build your website. So build your visual elements, build your brand elements. determine your brand voice, determine your message. Have all those things ready before you read your website, so that when you are designing your website, you are using all of your brand elements, all of your brand strategy, brand voice, brand message. You're putting it on your website, because your website is not the business, it's just a part of the business, and it needs to naturally flow with your personal brand or your business brand. By carefully planning your website content, you can build a website that effectively communicates your messages and also drive positive results. Now, once your website is live, continue to analyze, continue to measure your analytics, check your data. Okay, so that's all I have on this video. Don't forget to check out my previous video. I'm going to put a link in the description, or you can just check it out here. And also, if you love this video, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. And also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Fisayo Patrick 1. I will see you in the next video.